In today's Final Touch, they call it a selfie chino.
It's a coffee that couldn't be more personal. At this cafe in Brisbane, Australia, it's a pretty simple process. First, you snap a photo, and then it gets uploaded to an app and synced to a special food printer. A minute or two later, and you have a very personalized cup of coffee. The whole idea is to tap into the world of social media. Businesses are always looking for ways to get noticed on social media, and these selfie chinos are instant social media fodder. Sweet treats certainly can bring sweet rewards.
But would it be weird, like somebody you know's head and...
It's almost too pretty to drink.
It is too pretty. It's pretty cool.
Kind of cool, though. All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow. News 3 at 5 starts right now.
Right now at 5, the parents of the 15-year-old boy who allegedly starved to death are charged in court. The boy's brother is saying about the living conditions.
The flooding continues to take a toll on the Madison area, which remains at historically high levels.
And it is the first day of school for many students across Wisconsin. We'll tell you what's new this year at Beloit Memorial High School.
This is News 3 at 5.
Thanks for staying with News 3. We are learning more about the living conditions of a Reedsburg home where a 15-year-old was found dead after a 45-day family fast. An 11-year-old boy also found emaciated and taken to the hospital.
Both parents are facing 2 counts of neglecting a child, one ending in death and the other ending in great bodily harm. Our Amanda Quintana is back from the Sauk County Courthouse and has more on the charges that the parents are facing. Amanda?
Yes, well, both parents were scheduled to appear in court today via video conference, but the wife, Titileo Amosbai, was unable to attend. A judge granted a $5,000 cash bond for Kehinde, that's the husband, because he is believed to be a flight risk. He and his wife told police their family of 4 was fasting in order to get God's blessing, allowing them to leave the area and move to Atlanta. After 45 days of not eating, their 15-year-old son died. Court documents reveal 2 days later, Kehinde walked to the Reedsburg Police Department to report his son had died. They spent the 2 days praying. Police also observed there were padlocks on all of the doors in the home, confining them inside. A letter was also found that was written by the 11-year-old son, who is still in the hospital right now. It was addressed to lawyers of Sauk County and read, "I can't continue in such a life with no food. I'll probably die of hunger." Now, it appears that that letter was written after 5 days of fasting. Kehinde told police he was a minister, but they do not believe that that is true. In court today, he was ordered to have have no contact with the 11-year-old son without supervision.
Amanda Quintana in the newsroom. Amanda, thank you. In Madison, a toddler was found in a bathtub with the child's dead mother on the city's north side Sunday. Police say it happened on Sackgen Street. Police say the woman likely died of a drug overdose and was found face down in cold water by her grandparents around 10:30 p.m. Madison Police Chief Mike Koval said the 2-year-old was cold, but otherwise appeared to be okay. Police say the water in the tub was cold, suggesting that she had been there a while. Koval said the 25-year-old woman is a known heroin user.
A Monona man enters a plea of not guilty by mental disease or defect as he faces 9 felony counts from on-campus incidents last fall. 31-year-old Coleman Chung charged for his role in the attempted abductions of 2 women and a teen in the campus area last year. In each case, the alleged victims escaped, but one suffered serious injuries. He also faces sexual assault charges. Chung remains held in the Dane County Jail on $50,000 bond. A jury trial is scheduled for February.
A Muscoda woman who was charged with homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle has entered a plea. Court records show 53-year-old Kelly Johnsrud pleaded no contest and was found guilty of that charge. Another charge was dropped. In October, Johnsrud was involved in a crash that killed a 38-year-old Verona native, Kevin Kaltenberg. She admitted to drinking 2 beers and 4 Loco on her way to see her boyfriend in Madison. Johnsrud said she had been arrested on suspicion of drunken driving 3 times in 3 days. She is scheduled to be sentenced in November.
Turning now to your forecast. Lots of rain out to our west right now. Will it get here? Gary with the latest in the Weather Center. Gary?
Well, Eric, it will eventually get here later on tonight and tomorrow. The big question is how much rain are we expecting? We have alert days in the forecast for tonight and tomorrow. Most of the thunderstorms will arrive across much of southern Wisconsin after midnight. Some of those storms could have heavy downpours along with some gusty winds. Showers and thunderstorms will continue into tomorrow, and any additional rainfall could make areas of flooding worse, so that alert day continues into tomorrow. Flood warning continues for Crawford, Richland, Vernon, and southern Juneau counties until 9 p.m. Flash flood watch in effect for areas west of Platteville to Lone Rock to Wisconsin Dells line through 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Precipitation potential from the latest computer models, generally about a ½ inch to 1.5 inches of rain over southern Wisconsin. Some localized amounts of 2 or 3 inches or more, mainly north and west of the Wisconsin River, the area that got hit so hard last night. They don't need any additional rainfall, but we'll see what happens. You can see 3 to 6 inches of rain just over the last 48 hours in a band from around Prairie du Chien to just north of Richland Center to north and west of Wisconsin Dells. Right now, just a few isolated showers and thunderstorms across southern Wisconsin. To our west, a large area of rain and thunderstorms. A tornado watch is in effect just north and west of our viewing area until 10 p.m. Low temperatures this morning only dropped to around 70 degrees thanks to the high humidity. Temperatures right now are in the middle to upper 80s, and with dew point temperatures in the lower to middle 70s, it feels like temperatures are in the lower to middle 90s with the heat index. By tomorrow morning, look for showers and thunderstorms to become more likely. Temperatures will drop into the lower 70s. Tomorrow's high temperature will be cooler at 76 with showers and thunderstorms off and on through the day. That's your first alert forecast.
All right, thank you, Gary. The Montello School District has canceled its first week of classes due to flooding in the area. Montello received 16 inches of rain, which school officials say is the most in the state. School officials also noted while the sewer system is functioning at full capacity, the addition of nearly 1,000 students and staff could compromise the system. The school district is currently scheduled to open on Monday. Officials hope to share a comprehensive plan to students and parents by Thursday.
Officials in Boston have opened a shelter for victims of flooding as water from the Decorah Lake and the Lemonware River have risen over streets in multiple areas there. The police chief telling us water has gone over a number of streets, particularly in the southeastern part of the city, leading to at least 8 roads being partially or completely closed now. That includes parts of Highway 1216 leading into the southeastern part of Boston, which he says have been inundated with water. No mandatory evacuations, however, have taken place. Now, here in Dane County, all 4 lakes are still reeling from the historic rain 2 weeks ago. Lake Wabisa and Lake Monona both reached new historically high levels.
Rain expected over the next 24 hours. More rain, and the greater the rainfall, the greater the impact on the watershed. Rose Schmidt is live at Olin Park by Lake Monona to tell us how those lake levels are being managed. Rose?
Well, weed harvesters are working every day trying to keep debris out of these lakes and keep this water moving through the system. The state's Department of Natural Resources mandates how high these lakes are supposed to be kept, and Lake Monona here has now reached a new historic level.
Part of this is an issue of lake levels.
Over the last 24 hours, the lake levels have risen slowly, a trend that will likely continue for weeks or even months.
Certainly there's frustration in the community that levels are high. Our goal is not to create sudden or significant changes all at once.
Laura Hinklin directs the county's Land and Water Resources Department, in charge of monitoring those levels.
One difficult thing during high water periods is the question of, well, why are you choosing to manage the lakes beyond that maximum level?
But she says the tools that they have to control the water levels are actually rather limited. Her department is looking toward the future, as is Madison Mayor Paul Soglin.
We're all going to be pushing for responses as best we can in regards to the flooding.
Soglin released his 2019 capital budget Tuesday. It does allocate money for flood mitigation in certain areas on Madison's west side, but it's not in response to recent rains because the budget was prepared weeks before flooding hit the area.
It's going to take 3 to 6 months after this event is over to do a complete comprehensive evaluation.
And with the potential for more rain,
an inch or two of rain, for the most part, we should be able to absorb that.
Laura's staff members are doing what they can to make sure the water is debris-free so it can move through the system, and trying to keep people who enjoy the lakes happy.
Everyone in our community has an interest in the lakes, and you get a different opinion from everyone that you talk to.
Laura told me the lakes were high at the beginning of the summer, then they went down, and then, of course, historic rainfall hit the area 2 weeks ago, just filling them to the brim. Her department receives a lot of feedback about how high the water levels should be kept, and she says people who live by the lake like it higher than others. There's a lot of feedback there. Back to you.
Rose Schmidt reporting live. Rose, thanks.
Richland County officials are reminding residents to take safety precautions due to the flooding there. They say anyone who lives in a flood-prone area has been urged to take the necessary steps to ensure their safety and also mitigate the damage of that flood water. They say there are dozens of roads that are closed from the Rockbridge area toward the northern portion of Richland County. They include parts of Highway 131, Highway 80, County Road CC, and many more as well. Other highways all across the state that are closed include in Dane County, US 14 still closed with that bridge out between Cross Plains and Black Earth. In Marquette County, Highway 22 closed in Montello. In Sauk County, parts of highways 33, 113, 136, and 154 remain closed. For a full list of all those road closures, we have them listed on our website, channel3000.com.
Today is the first day of school for many students across the state of Wisconsin.
And for students in some areas, it's a time for change, particularly at Beloit Memorial High School in the form of a new administration there. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter joins us from Bureau at the Janesville Gazette with how the new staff plans to make a difference. Adam?
Well, for Beloit Memorial Principal Orlando Ramos and Interim Superintendent Dr. Donald Childs, this year is all about raising the bar and raising the standards for teachers and faculty alike. Now, Ramos says one big change this year will be the requirement for students to write 2 ACT-level essays in each class. He says these essays will increase reading and writing proficiencies and will better prepare students for college. Ramos also says parents will have the ability to monitor their child's work as it's being completed by using a tool called Google Classroom.
Parents are going to be able to log in and say, hey, John, how come this essay has not been completed yet? So we're going to, you know, it's an accountability. It's a circle of accountability. We're going to hold the kids accountable. The parents are going to hold me accountable.
Ramos says that he knows students might not be too excited about these changes, but says his main goal is to graduate kids that are college ready. Now, coming up at News 3 at 6, we'll hear more from Principal Orlando Ramos, more of his changes he plans to implement to help learning at Beloit Memorial.
Well, we look forward to that. Adam in our Janesville Bureau. Adam, thank you.
While flooding delayed the start of school for some schools in our area, that wasn't the case for the Madison Metropolitan School District. Superintendent Jen Cheatham was at Leopold Elementary School greeting families on the first day. She says the district pushed hard to make sure that everything was a go this morning. Dr. Cheatham says teachers and staff across the district work hard over the summer to prepare for the new school year.
This year we're really working on better empowerment of school communities. We want schools to make the best possible decisions on behalf of kids, investing in our staff, streamlining our priorities to have the most impact possible, and really leaning into some innovations.
The district also has a new strategic framework this year, and you can find a link with more information on our website, channel3000.com.
Still more to come on News 3 at 5. Up next, the hearing to confirm Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh underway. What both sides of the aisle are saying about it.
And Nike has signed former quarterback Colin Kaepernick to a big endorsement deal. How some consumers are reacting.
And on Wall Street, not much going on today. The first day of trading after the 3-day holiday weekend. The Dow lost a dozen, the Nasdaq down 18. The S&P lost about 5. We'll be right back.
The hearing to confirm President Trump's Supreme Court nominee is underway.
Brett Kavanaugh appeared before the Senate Judiciary Committee for the first time today. Democrats demanded a delay in the hearing over the White House's refusal to release all documents from Kavanaugh's time during the Bush administration. Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein used her opening remarks to argue that the future of abortion rights is at stake, while Republicans disagreed.
The president that nominated you has said, I will nominate someone who is anti-choice and pro-gun. And we believe what he said.
Because they don't have substantive points strong enough to derail this nomination. Strongly agree with
Over the next few days, Kavanaugh is expected to face questions on a wide range of issues, including affirmative action, executive authority. Republicans would like to have Kavanaugh take the bench by the 1st of October. People are burning their Nikes after the brand named former quarterback Colin Kaepernick to a big endorsement deal. The hashtag boycott Nike trended on Twitter after the former 49ers quarterback Kaepernick shared this ad with the caption, quote, believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything. This is part of Nike's 30th anniversary of the Just Do It campaign. Kaepernick has been a divisive figure when he began kneeling during the national anthem back in 2016, protesting police brutality and racial injustice. He's been unsigned since then, entangled in a lawsuit with the NFL, accusing the league of illegally shutting him out.
I thought about it this morning and last night when I was getting ready to decide what I was going to wear. I chose not to wear it. I'm not wearing any Nike.
I think it's part of the American experience to be able to speak your mind freely. I see it as a respectful way to say how you feel.
Some Kaepernick supporters have pledged to buy Nike shoes to be donated to homeless shelters.
People along the central Gulf Coast are bracing for the arrival of Gordon. The tropical storm could be near hurricane strength by the time it makes landfall tonight. National Hurricane Center expects anywhere from 3 to 5 feet of storm surge, which could cause millions of dollars in damage. States of emergency are in effect for Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi, which allows officials to quickly deploy the National Guard and other resources when and if Gordon hits.
Our thoughts certainly with those folks, but we feel like we've kind of been stuck in a hurricane for the last couple weeks. Gary Canalti on the Backyard Patio with the latest on what's happening to our west, Gary.
And well, we're also watching Gordon to our south because that could have a big impact on our weather as we head toward the weekend. If it stays far enough to the south, we could get a dry period of a week's worth of weather. That would be great. If it moves farther north, we could get perhaps an additional 3 to 5 inches of rain on top of what we already have over the weekend. That we don't need. Let's start out first of all with the alert days that we have in the forecast. This is for tonight and tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms, especially after midnight tonight. Some of those will have heavy downpours, maybe gusty winds and the stronger thunderstorms. Showers and thunderstorms will continue tomorrow. I don't think most of the storms will have heavy rain. It'll be a light to moderate rainfall most of the time, but any additional rainfall will exacerbate flooding in areas that are already receiving it. Flood warning remains in effect for Crawford, Richland, Vernon, southern Juneau, and southern Monroe counties until 9 p.m. Flash flood watch west of a Platteville to Lone Rock to Wisconsin Dells line from 10 p.m. tonight through 1 p.m. tomorrow. Rainfall over the next couple of days, according to computer models, now in the half-inch to inch-and-a-half range generally, but some higher amounts of 2 to 3 inches plus in heavier thunderstorms, mainly north and west out toward the La Crosse area. That's an area that got hit so hard last night. And as we take a look at the 5-day precipitation estimates, you'll see, and this is just in the process of updating, but basically about 3 to 6 inches of rainfall across much of northern Illinois, and then in a narrow band from around Prairie du Chien up to near Wisconsin Dells, with about 1 to 3 inches elsewhere across our viewing area. And you can see how widespread that area of red, where 3 inches or more of rain fell from northern Illinois through much of eastern Iowa and into southwestern Wisconsin is. Now to our north and west, there's a tornado watch in effect until 10 p.m. for parts of western Wisconsin. It's just outside of our viewing area. It does include the La Crosse area for some thunderstorms. By the time they reach most of our viewing area, they should be weakening a little bit, but could produce heavy downpours as they move through later tonight. In southern Wisconsin, just a couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms popping up here and there. The live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville showing some sunshine, but you can see those puffy cumulus clouds, and occasionally they start building up. The WISC Skycam showing some buildups to the east. A couple of those are turning into thunderstorms closer to Milwaukee. The Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison showing a very high Lake Mendota. And as we check out our almanac for today, the high 86 so far, the low temperature at a muggy 70, and right now we're at 86 with south-southwesterly winds at 8 miles per hour. The dew point temperature at 70. Heat index values are at or above 90. Now there's Gordon just about ready to make landfall in southern southern portions of Louisiana or Mississippi. Top winds just below hurricane force at 70 miles per hour. But take a look at the forecast path as it moves toward the northwest and then eventually curves around toward the north. This starts taking it closer to the Midwest, and that cone of uncertainty does make it into southern Wisconsin. It also makes it down close to the Ohio River. Should the remnants of Gordon stay closer to the Ohio River, we could see a dry weekend. That would be great news. Should it go farther to the north, there could be heavy amounts of rain here. The GFS computer models show about a half inch of rain just in the short term, but you can see the remnants of Gordon traveling to the south across Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana with an additional 3 to 5 inches of rain, so hopefully that stays to our south. Our forecast includes a flash flood watch west of a Platteville to Lone Rock to Wisconsin Dells line later tonight into tomorrow afternoon. Low of 72 tonight, showers and thunderstorms most likely after midnight. Some patchy fog also a possibility. Tomorrow cooler with showers and thunderstorms, high temperature at 76. Just a few hit and miss showers and thunderstorms this evening, then the more widespread showers and storms move in later tonight with a weakening line of thunderstorms. More showers and storms during the day tomorrow, but then those should start moving off to the south and east tomorrow evening, and that's good news. Then we should start drying out as we head into Thursday and see some sunshine with temperatures perhaps up into the lower 70s, but with a dry northeasterly wind. Again, the rainfall amounts ½ inch to 1.5 inches generally, with amounts in excess of 2 or 3 inches and heavier showers or thunderstorms. 7 to 10 day forecast. Again, dry weather Thursday and Friday. Got rain chances from Friday night into Saturday and early Sunday. A lot of that will depend on what happens with Gordon. Then some dry weather for the early part of next week. Again, if we miss out on the rain this weekend, we could have almost a week of dry weather, which would be perfect. Maybe some thunderstorm chances toward the end of next week. As we take a look at first alert traffic, it's not a good day on the Beltline today. We've got delays in the eastbound direction. This is the view at John Nolan Drive on the Beltline from the DOT camera, and we can see backups beginning actually around Monona Drive going all the way back to almost Whitney Way or Gammon Road. That means on the eastbound direction, about a 33-minute commute from University Avenue to the interstate, 18 minutes going back westbound. Heading out of Madison, the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990, just shy of a half hour, 19 minutes out to Sauk City on US 12, and 20 minutes to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue. That is your first alert traffic.
All right, busy day. Thank you, Gary.
And we'll be right back. Stay with us.
News 3.
President Trump has leveled new claims against his Attorney General, Jeff Sessions.
And President Trump tweeting, quote, 2 long-running Obama-era investigations of 2 very popular Republican congressmen were brought to a well-publicized charge just ahead of the midterms by the Jeff Sessions Justice Department. 2 easy wins now in doubt because there is not enough time. Good job, Jeff. A second tweet added, quote, the Democrats, none of whom voted for Jeff Sessions, must love him now, end quote. The reaction from Capitol Hill was swift.
To say that Justice Department ought to punish his enemies and protect his friends goes beyond what any president in my memory has ever said.
That is destructive of our rule of law.
Sessions responded to similar attacks in the past by saying the Justice Department would not be influenced by politics. President Trump has indicated that Sessions will stay on through the midterm elections. Stay with us. We'll have another check of your forecast when we return.
Tonight on the CBS Evening News, CBS talks to Bob Woodward about his new book depicting chaos in the White House. More reaction after Nike makes Colin Kaepernick part of its latest campaign. And Dorothy's stolen ruby slippers recovered after 13 years. Tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And a final check on the weather.
Yeah, lots to talk about. We're watching the radar very closely to see whether or not we have more heavy rain headed our way. Let's start out by taking a look, first of all, at the current flood bulletins. There's a widespread aerial flood warning for Crawford, Richland, Vernon, southern Juneau, and southern Monroe counties until 9 p.m. That's for widespread flooding, many road closures and blockages. Now, there's a flash flood watch that starts at 10 p.m., runs until 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, west of a Platteville to Lone Rock to Wisconsin Dells line. East of there, no watch right now, but many rivers are at or above flood stage, and any additional rainfall is going to cause flooding problems. There's actually a tornado watch just to our north and west across parts of west central Wisconsin. It does not include our viewing area. It does include Vernon and Monroe counties back into the La Crosse area. You can see just a few thunderstorms popping up and heading toward the Milwaukee area. More widespread showers and thunderstorms will arrive later on tonight. Latest computer model forecast, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain over much of southern Wisconsin. Some localized heavier amounts of 2 or 3 inches, more likely out toward the La Crosse area where the thunderstorms will be a little heavier later on tonight. Right now, we're just dealing with the steamy weather. It's 86 in Madison, and you can see with dew point temperatures in the lower to middle 70s, it feels like temperatures are in the lower to middle 90s. And shower and thunderstorm chances for tonight and tomorrow prompted an alert day. Then some dry weather Thursday and Friday. We're going to watch the remnants of Gordon for the weekend because that could make a big difference between either dry weather or heavy rain. And then after that, nice weather.
All right, more updates, 30 minutes on News 3 at 6. Stay tuned.